The long off season, you know, we kind of just adopted that just a few years ago, and it's definitely new for us. I mean, it's kind of awesome because before we were going January all the way through Thanksgiving at the Grands, and so to be at your top level all season long is very impossible almost, and so with the off season it kind of gives us a great block of training time prior to the season starting, and it's good. You know, you kind of have some time at home to regroup and figure out sponsors and get some solid training in without having to sacrifice races when you have to kind of train through those things. So it's definitely something different kind of that we're having to get used to, but I think it's definitely positive. To stay physically and mentally prepared during that 3-month off season that we have is kind of tough. I mean, obviously this is the first, you know, race of the year here in Black Mountain, and you know, coming into this race, even though, you know, we've all done the physical training, mentally we've kind of doubt where we are, you know, really, because a lot of us don't have kind of that SoCal scene with a ton of top riders to constantly judge yourself on, you know, week in and week out. So I was super nervous coming into this weekend because I know I felt great training, but you know, you never really know until you get out on the track and kind of feel things out. So it's definitely, you know, a work in progress for everybody that kind of has a tough time with it, but you know, that's part of the game. We've got to do the best we can physically and mentally to be, you know, at that top level as much as possible. So the new USA BMX SUPERCROSS series, new for 2015, definitely excited about it because, you know, SUPERCROSS for me over the past few years have been very, very rough with crashes and injuries. It's just so hard. I mean, all the young guys, all the tracks progressing, me getting just a little bit older. You know, I love SUPERCROSS. I was lucky enough to be one of the first riders to jump into that series. And so now with USA BMX kind of taking it on, it allows for us to get on those tracks more. And I think that that the series this year will prove to be a great stepping stone for me. I mean, I'm not totally sure that I'm going to make a run for the Olympics, but you know, if I feel confident and comfortable with the SUPERCROSS tracks, and there's no reason not to. And I think the USA BMX SUPERCROSS series will be a great place for me to kind of test and see how I feel, and hopefully put some good laps together and just be proud of my riding. So the new racing layout that they have for us, racing Friday nights and Saturdays instead of Saturday and Sundays, is definitely awesome. I think I'm definitely not a morning person, so to race Friday night, way better for me personally, and I think it's better for us, you know, as a sport. I think it's better and easier to kind of hype up the Friday night show, whether it's for the racers themselves or the outside spectators coming in. Better Friday than it is Sunday. I mean, Sunday is always kind of a dead day, really. You know, Saturday is kind of still, I mean, even with the Friday night deal, definitely the kind of the main show, but I really like the Friday night Saturday deal that we have going on, and I think they're going to definitely be able to structure it, you know, a little bit differently, and so that, you know, things run smoother, and they're giving us great, you know, rest time for you know, how quick we're running. But yeah, it's great. I think it's definitely a step forward. Track this weekend out here in Black Mountain, BMX, one of the best that it's been in a long time. I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite stop on the series, has been since I was 13 years old. The track is the smoothest, the fastest on the series, and that's just something that I love. I mean, I love coming to this track, not really having to worry about too much of a technical aspect to it. I just love how smooth it is, how fast it is. The crowd, it's just a humongous race. And so this year, it's definitely a little bit different of a track. I mean, still silky smooth, but there is a technical aspect to it, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But you know, everybody's got to ride the same track, and so I love Black Mountain. I'll always come here. to stay mentally prepared during the race day is definitely tough, especially when you have a long race weekend like this, and you know, when riding it, just like you're really on a roller coaster a lot of the times, because some motos go great, some motos don't, and then you have, you know, a 2-hour break in between your laps. So it's really a tough task to stay mentally in the right spot, especially when you're having you know rough laps. So you know, to come out here and to just worry about yourself, worrying about putting together the best laps that you know how is the most important thing. Because once you start worrying about the track or other riders, it's just too much stuff flooding your mind right now. And so it's all about putting it on the automatic and kind of doing what you know how to do. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But you know, it's definitely a task to stay on top, you know, more laps than not.